Most CPAs are trained to record your taxes, not reduce them. If you think hiring a tax preparer is the same thing as hiring a tax advisor or a tax strategist, you're going to lose years of your life paying unnecessary taxes. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars out the door to the government that you will never get back, all because you didn't know what to ask before you hired your accountant. Here's what most people don't realize. Somebody gets into the accounting profession because they like to record numbers. They're compliance experts. Their job is to report what happened last year. But strategy is forward-looking. Strategy is what happens in the coming year. And not only the coming year, but the coming 3, 5, 10 years, even the point of your legacy. That's where wealth is built or where wealth is lost. The tax law is not a trap. It's a map. It's literally a roadmap for reducing your taxes. Governments around the world, they've used the tax code. They figured this out really since about 1960. People hate paying taxes, so they can actually incentivize and manipulate behavior through the tax law. So they want you to do something, give you a tax break, or they don't want you to do something, give you a tax penalty. So what behavior do they want to incentivize? And I've been all around the world talking about this, and I always look at the tax law in any country I go to, whether it's Italy, Spain, Germany, countries in Asia, Australia, doesn't matter. I've been to 30 countries and learned the laws of all 30 countries. Here's what every single government wants to do. They want to incentivize housing, job creation, energy investment, and food production. And if you do those things, you get rewarded with lower taxes, and sometimes even no taxes. I want to be very clear. Those rewards are not automatic. They're not just handed out. You don't get them by filing a return. You get them by building a strategy and executing the strategy, following the tax code. It's a code by design. Here are the 5 things you must know before hiring an accountant. First of all, do they specialize in entrepreneurs and investors like yourself, or do they have a lot of clients that are just employees? Will they help you plan or just file? Do they understand entity structure? Can they help you use depreciation to eliminate taxes on cash flow? And do they focus on long-term permanent tax reduction and not just your typical deferral or postponing income to a later year, like a 401k or an IRA? Most accountants won't pass this test. That's okay, because most accountants aren't wealth strategists. They're compliance officers. But if you're serious about building lasting wealth, you need somebody who is. Let's run the numbers. Let's say that you invest $10,000 and you receive a 10% return annually on that $10,000. Let's say you leave it invested over 30 years and you're in a 40% tax bracket. Now, I'm not talking about you're paying 40% on the $10,000, just the income on the $10,000. After 30 years, you'll have about $60,000. And most people go, wow, 10,000 to 60, that's pretty good. Of course, that's assuming it's 10% every year, right? Only it's not. It's really only 6% because you lost 4% to taxes every year. Let's say instead you get the full 10%. You don't pay taxes. After 30 years, it's not $60,000. It's not $160,000. It's almost $200,000. These are real numbers. I've run them 100 times. And it's just amazing the value of compounding that extra money you get because you're not paying taxes. Now, that's just $10,000. We more than tripled the return because we didn't have to pay taxes. What if that was the case on every dollar you made? Not just the money you invested, but actually every dollar you earned, every business you built, every property you own. The cost of not having a strategy is that you're losing 2/3 of your return to the government. You're not just losing money though, you're losing time. You now have to work so much longer in order to get to where you want to go. And for most people, they will never get to where they want to go. They'll end up depending on Social Security and other government welfare programs because they never understood the power of a tax strategy. The wealthy don't wait for tax season. They build tax strategy into everything they do. They own businesses, which give them control and deductions and tax credits. They own real estate, which gives them cash flow and depreciation. They invest in government incentivized assets like solar panels. It was a good example over the last few years. They get credits for that. And most importantly, they don't leave it to chance. They plan. That's how some people reach financial freedom in as little as 7 to 10 years without investing any more money. Other people will grind it out for 30 or 40 years and they'll never get to the same place that these people got to in 7 to 10 years. That's not luck. That's structure. That's strategy. Taxes are your biggest single lifetime expense. They're the biggest drag on your wealth. Without a strategy, the average person spends 20 years of their life just earning the money to pay the taxes. We all hear about longevity. How about 20 years of longevity simply because you didn't have to pay taxes and you could do it legally? Without a strategy, you spend that extra 20 years. With a strategy, you get that 20 years back with the right education and the right team. But it takes both education and team. If you're about to hire an accountant, please hit pause. Start with the right questions. Go to the link below and download my free guide, 5 questions to ask before you hire a CPA. It's simple, it's free, and it could save you a decade or more of your life. Don't hand your future to someone just because they can fill out a tax form. Get educated, build a strategy, then hire someone who knows how to execute it. One more thing. We helped a business pay 0 tax on a big chunk of income. Totally legal if you know what you're doing. Watch this next video right here if you want to know how to pay 0 tax on your business income.